Hello everybody, how are you guys doing today? I'm going to talk about one important trending topic today, but before that, as usual, I will show you guys about my chopping board products, okay? Yeah, okay. Okay, this is my, just to introduce to you guys, this is my marble chopping board, okay? This material is made of high molecular weight polyethylene, HMWPE, okay? This is of grade 500. This is the actually okay. What's the difference between our chopping board grade compared to what's available in the Indonesian market today? Okay, most of the chopping boards products in the Indonesian market are all mostly made of LLDPE, which is a low level density of polyethylene. Okay, so this is the reason why I like to introduce my chopping board products to the Indonesian market, right? Ours is made of a high molecular weight of a minimum grade 500, which is the minimum international grade being used in most developed countries. You know, for example, like in the US, in the Europe, okay, we already have the FDA approval from the US as well as ITINA certification from the Europe, and this HMWPE of chopping boards already started being used in the Asia Pacific market as well. Okay, for example, also in China, also in Hong Kong, definitely in Japan as well. So that's the reason why I like to introduce this to the local market, right? And by the way, this material, what's so good and exceptional about this material? The density is really solid. Okay, it's really quite high and about 3 to 4 times more dense than compared to the normal LLDPE, right? So as a result, this it is also heavier in terms of weight, okay, compared to LLDPE. So it is much more stable when you do your chopping on this kind of HMWPE chopping boards. Okay. And also, one special feature is that this is repolishable. Okay, this is repolishable, meaning that you can use a hand grinder or some kind of a polishing grinding surface papers, sand papers, especially to repolish these chopping board products, right? I've shown in my previous videos before, the before and after, of the result, before the polishing and after the polishing. Okay, in my previous videos, right? Those that I shown you the small green sample, right? So, but anyway, I will try to show you guys again in the near future, right? But for this material, I just like to inform you guys that this is repolishable, meaning you can always repolish, indefinitely, even infinitely. So, in other words, this is like a forever lasting kind of a product, right? So you don't have to worry, although yeah, of course our price is higher than the normal LLDPE chopping boards, right? But you can always use this, for as long as possible, even during your lifetime, right? So okay, this is a smaller size. This is more of a compact size. We are doing a lot of custom sizes, right? This is one of the this is a small sample size, more of a home size, right? You can always use it for like a home size, but for commercial usage, we always provide a much bigger size. For example, like this one, right? This is a bigger size. This thickness is 2.5 cm. This one is only 2 cm, right? Okay, and this is we put on handle on this size because this is quite heavy. It's close to about less than 4 kilo, right? So this is quite heavy. That's the reason why we attach this handle to this size, right? So that it will make you guys easier to carry it around. Yeah. Also, this size is quite. Actually, this size is also quite convenient. It's not that too big, also, but not that too small. It's just like medium, a nicely medium size, right? You can most of our customers would use about this size, for example, in the cafes, in the hotels, and also even restaurants. But more of the retail sectors, right? But for factories and more for the commercial purposes, they're mostly using more of a larger size. Okay, so for any enquiries, this is also the same material. Okay, made of HMWPE, high molecular weight polyethylene. You guys can reach me in my Instagram page 3 Ranger as well to and inquire, or even any custom sizes that you guys would like to inquire about. Okay. And by the way, this marble pattern or marble color is quite limited. over here in Indonesia, right? So we don't have that much stock. So it's quite of it's more of a limited edition kind of color. Okay. So if you guys like to inquire more, you can always reach me in Instagram, H3 Ranger, right? Okay, guys. Okay. For today, I think I'd like to talk about this. What's really trending in the world today regarding this Boeing accident, right? Regarding the Alaskan flight's windows that just flew off from the airplane, mid-air. Okay, that is actually quite dangerous, actually, But fortunately, nobody's hurt, and even with the windows being thrown off the plane, most of all the passengers are all safe and sound. Okay, except maybe I think one or two have lost their phones throughout the air, or flew off from the plane. It was initially when I heard about that story, when I read about the news about that Alaskan Airlines Windows flight, I thought it was really quite weird and really funny, because how could such an incident could happen over an established commercial airline, they should have all the the safety, the maintenance staff, overseeing the planes maintenance and services right before, on a daily basis. But this kind of thing, I thought, initially I thought, at the back of my mind, was this a sabotage, for this Boeing incident. I thought that, when I dig deeper, when I read about the news, yes, it was when I read the news, over the past few years, indeed, like maybe the incident took over about 2 years ago, that this Boeing incident, there had been a sabotage before, right? It was mentioned like there was like an Iranian or an Iraqi staffer, at the airport's ground staff, who oversees the maintenance of the plane. But yes, it was indeed, based on maybe just because of the staff's nationality, they thought that, it might be a sabotage from the Middle East, those kind of stuff. But upon further digging, it was just like it wasn't a terror attack. It was more like a laziness on the part of the staff, actually. Yeah, it was also quite surprising, actually, to me. Yeah, such thing could happen over in in the US, where in the developed country. The US is the home-based nation of the Boeing, right? It shouldn't happen. But then when I tried to scroll down further about the Boeing incidents, found out that it actually happened over here in Indonesia. A lot of accidents, and plane crashes, involving Boeing planes. So it was quite, I thought initially that it was just it was really a sabotage, because a lot of countries really hate the US, right? So that's what I thought, maybe the other countries are trying to, make the Boeing stocks fall down, through with this kind of a careless incident. But then, it was just for the record that Boeing really has more accidents, compared to Airbus, actually. Yeah, from the reports, from when I tried to dig deeper and search further, it was found out that really Boeing has a more terrible track records of plane accidents, actually, and also plane crashes. Already here in Indonesia for the past like 5 to 10 years, there have been a lot of plane incidents involving Boeing planes, actually. Yeah. So I thought that, I think for the record, it was like, it's like this Boeing is really, compared to Airbus now, is a much more careless corporation, actually. They did not really take care of their planes properly, doing the maintenance and the servicing, right? Well, it is done, they're always being done, but not as carefully as the European counterparts, which is Airbus, right? Airbus has a more thorough records, of plane servicing, the maintenance. From the reports, it was stated that they had a more stringent checklist, checklist of all their planes, even for their staff. it was also mentioned that the way they service their planes were much more costlier compared to Boeing. So we can see the difference here, that the European people, are much more careful, in regards to safety, in regards to servicing and maintenance, and compared to the US counterparts, right? These Boeing people and also corporation, those people at the top, well, they might get angry, right? But people on the ground, the airport ground staff, right? They are not doing their work actually that much properly. Also, it could be seen that they have in terms of the records, between Boeing and Airbus, Boeing has a more longer list of accidents and even also careless accidents and maintenance, and compared to Airbus, but notwithstanding, it is still possible that Boeing is kind of exposed to a certain degree of sabotage, compared to Airbus, right? If people would like to do something to the airline, to the company Boeing, to make its stocks fell down like it did this past few weeks, not just one incident of the window. There had also been other incidents in regards to Boeing planes, right? So as a result, its stocks had fell down quite drastically. Well, not that drastically, but quite substantially. And this opens up, I think, to a new opportunity for investors to buy their stocks while it was low enough for them to buy, which is also quite an advantage, I thought, when the news mentioned that the Boeing stocks had fell down drastically due to the Alaskan Airlines window incident. It was it kind of opened up these new opportunities for investors to quickly come in and buy the stocks while it is low. So in a way, it could be a sabotage, could be more like a financial sabotage, in the stock market, right? So I thought this is the reason why I like to bring up this story, is because I thought that in today's world, the two main biggest manufacturers of aircrafts are just Boeing and Airbus, right? Both across the continents. One is in the US, the other is in Europe, right? So they could be playing with each other, trying to bring it. Perhaps, since they are both of them are the two main biggest rivals, they could try to bring down each other just to take advantage of the market dynamics. Due to the Boeing incident, a lot of airlines have cancelled their orders with Boeing, and then they switch their orders, they replace the orders with Airbus instead. And Airbus, as a result, its stock prices had increased, and also they've reported an increase about, due to the Boeing incidents, between about 15 to 20% increase of their future orders. This is quite spectacular, as a result of all this happening, due to all these incidents or accidents involving Boeing, has an effect on Airbus, right? So I thought it is quite. It is not surprising, but it all makes sense, Due to Boeing's downfall, it has resulted in an increase, in an upward increase of Airbus stocks, right, or also orders. So I thought that could this be a sabotage between these two companies? I'm not very sure, but there has been some incidents before, involving Boeing staff, that could be a sabotage, right? And also, it is really quite obvious, even a blind person could feel, the tension between these two companies. If one rises in its position and in terms of its orders, the other one might be sliding down, right? If Airbus has an increase in its orders, perhaps Boeing will be affected, due to these incidents, right? The grounding of all the Boeing's, all the Max series aircraft, came into, it all has an effect on Airbus profitability as well. So I thought, this is quite intriguing and also quite interesting to me. The reason why I like to talk about this issue, right, about this news, is because of this obvious dynamics between these two companies. Well, this is just a food for your thought, okay? I'm just mentioning about these two. This is just my analysis of what's happening between these two companies, right? Between Boeing and Airbus. Because when Boeing got into the news, because of the Windows accident, Airbus also, Airbus was greatly affected also, but in a very positive way. So between these two, a lot of I think the rivalry between these two biggest aircraft manufacturers are really quite significant. We can see, when Boeing is having its downward fall, Airbus would increase, in its position, right? I think vice versa as well. But looking at the track record, Airbus has always been the leader in terms of its safety, and also in terms of its safety track record involving planes. It has less plane crashes, it has less incidents, compared to Boeing. So as a result, I think Boeing, being the American manufacturer, has to change its ways of doing things. It has to evolve, and really it needs to change, in terms of its position in comparison to Airbus, right? Because I think in the future, if it doesn't change, then I think the company is going downwards also. Other companies in other countries, other manufacturers in other countries would also be able to catch up as well, right? So I thought that okay, this is just my analysis, between Boeing and Airbus, right? Okay, you guys be the judge, right? Okay, I do thank you guys for watching my video. If you don't mind, you can also help me to subscribe, like, and share. Okay, bye bye.